industry, and we need to have. In fact, there's no country without middle class. You
Something good
know,
is happening
and
in
we
Colombia.
want to see Liberians taking control of the economy. And to do that, the emphasis have always been, oh, they don't have the capacity. But if you give them the space, they will definitely have the capacity. And at the end of the day, they said to us, oh, well, we can look into that. And I told them, it's not just about looking, it's about demanding. We are demanding that it happens because it's an act and it's strong. So you must do what the act says. And they are aware. So we have said to them, Liberians must be seen into the space.
Great.
So that's where we are right now.
As you speak, I mean, having these conversations, I know over the weekend on Friday you met Tacoons and all of that. What are they saying? Because it's not just about mandating or demanding, but it's about actualization. It's about fruition. It's about saying like
they have
taking ownership of the economy.
they are in the know. That's the good thing about it, they are aware.
That there is violation.
Yes, they are aware that they are in violations. And they know that for us at the Ministry of Commerce, we don't joke with penalties. We don't joke going after you.
How soon do Liberians expect to see full actualization of
that's
all
what
of
I'm
these
coming to right
mandates?
now. That's what I'm about to tell you right now. Liberians might not have the capacity as they dwell on, as they always say, but Liberians have not been given the opportunity. So this time around, this president is saying Liberians must take charge. So what we have said to them, and they have agreed. But my question to them was, are you telling us or telling me right now that this entire country, we don't have anybody that you can trust? And they said, no, we do have. We have few Liberians who we can trust. But these Liberians, they are the one we actually can rely on. So we are saying the reason why you're not trusting others because you are not given them the opportunity to do it. So they have agreed that these people who they trust will come together and they strengthen the smaller ones. Because when you have so we have to build entrepreneurs, you got to begin from somewhere. And to do that, we are saying to them, you can't do all. You cannot do all. That is strictly violations. And they agree. So this time around, we have plucked out those 16 businesses. We have taken them out and we have flagged them out again. They have agreed that yes, we can go this route, we can do this route. They also told us that the interest of trust is an issue. They said to us, we gave these people our businesses to go and our commodities to
Do
go
some
out.
distribution.
Do some distribution. Sometimes they don't come back. Sometimes they relocate. Sometimes it's just what it is. So we are saying to them, this is not the way we want it. We are saying to you right now, you have an industry, which is good. You also employ because when you come to invest, you tell us you will give job opportunity, you will do XYZ, and we agree. The job opportunity, yes, is there. The benefits to those employees are there, but we are saying to you, this is not what you should be doing. You have the factory, you produce, you have distributors who come Liberians that you trust, you say you trust, let them come and take over and let them do the distribution. For the worst of all, when you produce and you distribute, then you come into the same community that the person is distributing. You have a big truck with music on it. I think you know what I'm talking about. You doing some advertisement and retailers. So even if the Liberian man went to you as one of your clients to get, how do they sell? Because you are also selling retail. You are into the community with that big truck and playing the music and everybody. Now, mind you, your price is far lower than what those people are selling to
That
the
that also be
community.
on money.
Yeah, that is completely undermining. So we are saying to them, we love your action. You are doing well in terms of you want to bring other Liberians on board, but you cannot do XYZ. And you won't believe it. They are aware of the 16 businesses. They are aware, strongly aware.
Great. I mean, you see, Liberians or foreigners, they are in the communities that you were saying they're doing sepe and all that. They're doing black mine, black, all that, same money and all that.
Yes.
How concerning are you as a minister of commerce?
You know, I'm very, very much concerned. The reason why I'm laying emphasis is because when I took over, I felt there was a need to do some visitation around. Let's see what's going on around here. And many didn't believe that the Minister of Commerce would be in the street. Someone told me, you cannot be the Minister of Commerce because it has never happened before. I said, but under this watch of this president, it's happening now.
Do you feel pressure at times?
No. Never, because
Pressure in the sense that maybe you want to get certain things done and it's not happening, and you're very intentional about your quest to
the
make
thing,
it
the
work.
thing about it here is what I want to happen or what I want done, I make it happen. For an example, if I send the inspector into the street, letting them know that this should happen, I'm not just going to sit in the office on policy. I know policies are there. We're going to regulate and do all what we're supposed to do. But somebody said, there's a saying that the farmer,
Mm.
the best fertilizer for the farm is yourself. When you visit your farm on a regular basis, the people who are there, they might be afraid to steal, might be afraid to do the wrong thing because of your presence. So I'm not saying that these wrong things are happening, but I'm saying to you, the presence of the minister is a signal to every business person in Liberia
Let's
that
talk
we are
about
serious about it.
inspection. The last time we saw inspector team from the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, they were all out closing some businesses. How intentional are you, the inspector team, to making sure that businesses that do not fall, in your line are shut down, maybe penalized?
Well, I don't know whether you are actually following because when I came to the ministry less than 6, 7 months, I shut down 30 stores. I myself as the Minister of Commerce. And
Credit stores on what?
30 stores.
On what?
One, that's what I'm telling you right now. Not registered. Businesses they are doing 3, 4 businesses under one name, in one single store. For an example, you cannot have a store. You're doing cosmetics on the side. You're doing used clothes on the other side. But it's the same store. Each of those items must be registered as a body. And not you just getting them up and doing that. So we firstly wanted to know what's the name of the business and what are you doing? What are you involved into? You are involved into used clothes. For on your stuff on your store, you got maybe electronics. So we go into that place to look for electronics, not used clothes, not other stuff rather than electronics. So we said to them, this is wrong. And many of them told us, yes, we agree, this is wrong. But why are you doing it? Why? Why are you robbing us of our revenue? Why? And they could not give us some answers, so we shut them down. We find them and told them to go and pay. So that gave me the urge to go back. I went back into the streets with uh, the inspector general. And we have a special time where I joined them. And that's what we are doing right now, making sure that if you don't follow those rules and regulations that govern our country, rules and regulations that govern the Ministry of Commerce, so the closure of these stores, they are not just because you want to close them, it's because they are violated. And once you violate, you bear the full weight of the law.
So have these businesses been reopened? Have they followed?
Oh yes, they are fine. We find them. They went and made a payment. But we said to them, you gotta separate the schools. You gotta open separate schools. You cannot have all of these commodities in one school. So just the other day, as they normally say, I normally disguise myself, and I went down Waterside. And one of the stores I went to was one of those stores I went to previously. So I didn't see anybody that I knew there because apparently, I don't know. But then I asked. I said, but I came here last night and I wanted to get cosmetics. And the young man told me, oh, we don't want trouble. One lady came here, she called herself Minister of Commerce, came here and shut our store down. And we've been walking after it. Right now, if you walk to the corner, you will see the used stores there. If you walk, he started, I mean, he began to tell me where the stores were, was. And then he was telling me that the Ministry of Commerce is serious. So it tells me that what we are saying is actually working. So, and in fact, it gives me more urge, more strength to do it. And also the Inspector General, he has been doing extremely well, very, very much well. So, and he and his team, they are there. They have been monitoring all of these businesses that refuse to follow this act. And We are saying to you, we're not going to fine you 2,000 and 3,000. We're going to increase the fine so that you will know that it is serious. Because sometimes they don't care. They sit there and make 10, 15,000 for an example. And if the fine is $20 or $25, what effect it has? So, the businessman, he wouldn't like to spend a lot of money. So he would definitely fine it.
So are you increasing the penalties?
Oh yes, we are. There are penalties on the book. There are penalties on the book, and they don't like it, but we have to do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about goods on our markets and the quality distinguishes. I mean, you see people selling whatever that comes and you see. Are you also concerned about the quality of what's on the markets? This is very important.
This is very, very important. And let me lay the emphasis on it again. At one point in time, we had a standard lab. The standard lab was restricted in a sense that it was a little small space. And today we are grateful to EU and our partner.
You have the
King.
the Liberal Laboratory.
I'm
These
co-
are
no, that's what I'm coming to now. I'm coming to that. We had a standard lab, a small space, where we didn't have all of the equipment for testing. Now we have a standard authority that has been satisfied already. So it tells you that we are qualified. We have qualified
equipment to
equipment. We have people who are there who can do it. Who are there to do the testing and all of that. In fact, just of recent, the president just opened it because we have European Union and EU rather, and other partners doing some refurbishing and the renovation. So it's bigger now, it's new now, as an authority now. So when you bring in commodities, the first thing we ask you to do is to reach out to the standard authority. Go to the standard authority, do your testing, come back to us. In fact, you have to apply. Then you come back to us after standard authority. Standard authority will issue you a receipt and stamp letting us know that you have gone through the process. So right now, it's an issue right now. So everybody's running there because if you don't run there for testing, you're not going to get it. I'm not going to sign it. So everybody is in force going there as compared to maybe other time they didn't have time for all of that. And I lay emphasis on the standard lab. They didn't have the space, they didn't have the equipment and all of that. Now they have been satisfied. And then secondly, they have a bigger space. So that's where we are right now.
so as you
So
speak, Minister,
mhm.
the goods on the markets on the overall are they safe for consumption?
Yes, they are. They are. And that's why we're out in the market, in the streets. And let me just say something to you again. We realize also that every commodity that comes from wherever places it comes from, it has an expiration date. It tells you that they put it there and tell you expiration expire date is XYZ, manufacture date is XYZ. It is there. So what they do, they go and place something beneath it and put in the So I
Is
was
this something that you've detected?
yes. So I was victimized the other day, and we shot the person down. I had passed with a mini mark to get insure milk. There's a milk called insure milk, and I took this milk and I shook it, opened it. I was about to put it in my mouth, and I saw the thing look like small crawling creatures. So I went back because I was traveling that day. So I went back and came back and asked the inspectors to go there. We pour in a bowl and realized that they had changed the date. So right now we are making sure that all of these commodities that's coming. In fact, we're trying to see how we can have this VOC. The VOC has to do with what country this thing is coming from, the manufacture date, the expiration date, and all of that. So once we have that in the system, that will be good for us. So we try to digitize all of the processes because when we go digital, it's going to be better for us because sometimes the paper handling causes problems. So we try to see how we can talk to our partners to see how we can go digitize in terms of getting all of those informations. Because if you went to, for an example, if you went to Spain to get some frozen, you know that the people in there, wherever country, they will not sell you uh, something that has expired. It's a crime for them themselves.
But it's common here, like
No, yeah,
sometimes people, like you were saying, people
because
change the man of
yeah,
their expiry date and all
yeah.
that.
So because we are not going to digitize completely yet, and digital completely yet, so we try to do that. So if we have the opportunity to do that, for which we are working on, asking the World Bank and other partners to help us. If you came for if you went and got chicken back or chicken whatever or fish or whatever water, whatever you bring, you have to apply for that. And all of those information from where you are taking them from will definitely come on the screen. And we will know. So I can be any part of the world and use my phone and flag and go right back, right to the process and know whether I know whether it's good or not. So some people try to dwell on that. And that's why our task force has increased. Now we have the Minister of Justice. We're going to have the Food Authority. We're going to have the Ministry of Health. We're going to have all of these, the EPA, and all of these people to see what's going on. What is it that we can do? We need to have this joint task force is to strengthen whatever our law says.
Is it about food safety?
It is. It is about food safety. And sometimes you see, sometimes we eat food that we also don't know. And that's why I always tell them, I say, I don't eat the frozen, but I have relatives who eat them. I don't eat what you bring all the time. But we have relatives, we have family members, we have children, we have people, associates who eat them. So what happens? They get sick. Sometimes probably they might not have the money to go to the hospital, and they might ask us, and we have to help. In a lower case where a bigger case where they pass, we have to contribute. So we cannot continue this. It was happening before. We cannot continue this. So when we find out that you bring in expired goods, we're going to shut you down, and not just finding you, but we might shut you down perpetually. And we have the reason why we shut you down and the reason why you should not open anymore.
Have you had a case where people are bringing in expiries and all that, and you shut them
Yes.
down perpetually?
No, I said that's what we're going to do.
Moving forward?
Yeah, moving forward. We have shut down a lot of businesses.
Maybe for
a lot.
different reasons, but not on expiries.
Well, on expiration date, yes, we did. I remember we shut down about 3 or 4 for months.
Perpetually?
For months.
Okay, for
For
months.
months. Yes. So if
So
you are
what's the
caught,
new approach now?
the new approach is that you're going to be shut down perpetually. You're not going to come back into the market again. And we're going to make, even if you change your name, and by that time we would have gone digital. So where we find out again, and not just that,
Is it a
we're going to
policy
have.
statement? Is this a policy statement?
It should be. It is. It is because in no country you find people bringing expired goods and people eating them.
But it's not common here in Nigeria.
It's common
Is it a
because
system?
it's not a system. Probably let me just give you an example. The former Inspector General, Dor Cooper, he was very instrumental in chasing after those people. And I remember there was a lot of rotten expired fruits on the market. And he did talk to me about it. And I told him, IG, you go out and go do your work. And I will follow later. And he went. But unfortunately, he arrested, took it to the place, dumped it, to stabilize prices. We are here to protect consumers, and that's why you heard me saying I went there to put it on fire because I have to protect consumers, and we are responsible. It is our mandate to have prices
So
being
in,
put
in
out.
essence, all of the different prices you are aware.
I am aware. I am
Are you
aware.
also concerned about arbitrary pricing?
Yes, we are, and that's why you see us all into the streets. That's why you see our inspectors are being proactive nowadays. They are all in the street making sure because these are these are normal commodities that people use on a daily basis. And we know the price. You cannot, and moreover, what happened in the Middle East, people try to capitalize on that. And we told them no, we cannot do this because what affects the Middle East, I agree, it's a global thing, but we have to be able to have control because there were others who brought in goods before the Middle East crisis. So the goods we had, sell them the price you have them. You cannot dwell on what happened in the Middle East to have you come and say because I bought this from $2 and the prices in the Middle East now and I intend to bring more. But those goods that you brought ahead of time, what what is the problem? But we're not selling it the way you had it before. So we are really, really on the back for that. And we are strong about it. And I said to say to it again that we are strong about it. We're going to make sure that those prices will not be inflated.
Hmm. I mean, Madam Minister, many Liberians say the cost of living is becoming unbearable despite all the different assurances from the government. Is it that the government is losing on price stability?
I say, in caps, 2 letters, no, no,
We're not losing on price
no, we
stability.
are not. We
So
are
it
not.
means all of the
The
prices
prices,
on the market
the
were
pri-
sanctioned by your ministry.
yes, and that's what we have said to them. And that's what we find. Some of the fines are you go into the store, they don't put price tag. You know why they don't put price tag? It's because they want to give you any price. So we are saying no.
Are you monitoring that?
The inspector, they are very strong and proactive in that. So you must do your price tag. If you had this microphone for $10, I shouldn't come here and ask you more for this. Your price tag should be there. I should be able to read it and say, oh, this microphone is $10. But they don't price it. They put it when you come, you ask, they just say, you know what, any amount to you. We are saying no, you must do your price tagging. And that's a crime also in the law. You must do your price tagging. And we also said to them, if you register your business, the law says you should place it on the wall. They will not place it on the wall because it has expired. So we say to them, if you don't place it on the wall, it is also a crime.
Madam Minister, you have a very big task. How are you managing in the wake of all of these complexities?
It might seem big to you, but I have done bigger things than what I'm doing right now. I have done a lot than what I'm doing.
This
right
sector you're controlling very complex.
now.
Today
I
you're on
came
the other
from-
side, today you're on the other
from-
side.
I came
The
from.
businesses are always thinking ahead.
I'm also a businesswoman. Maybe you might not know. I ran the Garden Stable Transportation in Liberia for more than 10, 12 years. And people thought I was a mountain woman. I had a used car Garden Stable transportation. They were all mine. And that is something that you have to run that. And I don't want to actually call it a amount, but it was something. If I could control that, I can control it. And as you said, we are definite about what we say. We are saying it strongly because we believe that what has been happening over a period of years, a period of time, cannot continue. So we have said to ourselves and our team, not just us. When I say we, I mean the Ministry of Commerce. We have said there's a need for us to go extra mile. And what is it that we need to do? Is to strengthen the inspector, strengthen the price analysis that has to do with the pricing, and also work closely with the standard authority. And not just standard authority, the LPR, the Liberia Business Registry, also falls beneath the Ministry of Commerce, and LIPO, the intellectual property, also falls beneath the Ministry of Commerce. So it's a collective work. So holistically, we take decisions, and we believe that it is working.
Okay. I mean, there's this thing in Liberia that prices go up so easily, but to come down becomes an issue. For now, right now, we have this issue of petroleum produce and all that. Now, everybody attributes that to the war in between the US and Iran. But why do prices go up so quickly? But to come down becomes a real upward task.
Prices, when you talk about the petroleum, it's a global thing.
Yeah, no.
Even in America, I watched a video where I saw that they're kicking everything and say, yeah, it's never happened before. So it's a global thing. But we have said to the petroleum importers that we understand what is going on. And if you look at what was happening a few weeks ago, we were the lowest, and we are still low as compared to Sierra Leone, Ghana, Guinea, and all of that in terms of the price of the cement and what have you. So we want to remain to where we are, and we believe we'll definitely remain there because we believe that this thing gonna slow down or it's gonna stop.
The question we're asking, Madam Minister, is prices go up so easily, but to come down, it becomes a real
that's what I'm going through right now. So prices went up because of the global crisis and fuel, as we talk about it, petroleum, and we try to control it. Let's take example of stable food, right? Right, since we came to the ministry, rice have been $14.50.
Retail price.
Retail price, yes, retail price. So they get it for $13.00. But what I'm trying to get to here is that it has never changed since we've been in the ministry a year plus. It has not gone up, it has not come down, it has been to where it is. And we want to believe it's going to remain there. Reason being is because it has to remain there. I'm not going to go beyond that. It's going to remain there. We have a few. Those are political commodities. Rice also, what happened in country rice and all of that. They have a whole history of it. So we talk to that. If we increase this, once the global crisis subside, we want to make sure that we come back. And it's going to come back because normally it fluctuates.
You mean the petroleum produce?
Not just the petroleum. I'm speaking holistically.
Okay.
Yeah.
All different.
Not yes. So we want to make sure that we have control. Right now on the market, prices are stable. Prices are stable because the inspectors are on it. They are on their feet on a daily basis, and they are making sure that they report back to us where we are. Like the other day, I went to get some ties. I myself went to get some ties. And the ties, the man told me, in fact, I bought it before, I think $16 or $18, and I went. And normally, I don't go with security. Sometimes I drive myself, and they don't even know that I'm the commerce minister. So that's where I normally buy ties. And it was that day you go to know I was the minister of commerce. Because when I went there, from $18 to $23. And I told him it can't be. He said, oh, you see what's happening in the Middle East and all of that. I said, I just bought from ties from you last week. So I was there, he put his tag up, and we left. And a few days after, I passed by again. I saw everything was labeled. The people started saying like beware that you have to put the fire on top of
Maybe you were impressed, but we're talking about those in the rural areas, like in where in Grand Jude, in Maryland, all parts of the country. How are you monitoring prices in those areas?
Government is not in Monrovia. Government spreads cut across the country. We have inspectors here. We have inspectors in Grand Jude, River G, whatever you call.
But there are reports that most of your inspectors are compromised by these big hands.
Human behavior is dynamic. So we're not going to support them in what they do. But what we are saying to you here is, if they are doing it in disguise, then it's an issue. But what we do know here is that the Ministry of Transport came up with a price in terms of transportation. So whatever that is being carried there, that transportation is inclusive. So you cannot go beyond what we have given you. And that's where we are right now. So everywhere, not just in Nigeria. You talk about compromising all over the places happening. The Sonas, they have taken over the land. But we got to be able to bring us back. Unless somebody says discipline left, discipline has to come back. If it has to come back forcibly, then definitely the government is going to force it. And that's what we are in terms of the Investment Act 2010. Making sure that we force it, make sure that it works. And it's going to work because it is working. And even today, there's another meeting again with the Vice President in conclusion of what we have started. And that is to make sure that we insist, and that has to work. If it can't work, that means you can't do business. If you can only do your industry and do your distribution and local, that means we shut you down. That means you don't want to work, you don't want to do business. Because every country you go to, there are laws and rules that govern it, policies also. So you have to follow that. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, how effective is your ministry in regulating unfair trade practices on the Liberian market? I know you get inspectors and
We just launched a trade facilitation committee.
What does it seek?
It tells us that we are about to roll out now. Tell you how
the minister is coming off very
how we
strong.
get rid of bottlenecks.
She's really
How do we get
articulating
rid
it.
of delay? How do we
Very
strengthen SMEs? How do we strengthen traders? How do we strengthen investors? What is it that we need to do? And all of those issues were discussed. So, as I said to you, there's a public-private dialogue.
The minister is coming off very strong.
Believe that by next week, they're supposed to start a roll out into the different counties, letting them know all of those people who are there creating fake checkpoints, not physically checkpoints. You know what I'm talking about? Those bottlenecks, creating delay, unnecessary bottlenecks. We're trying to see how we can do that because traders, we are responsible for trade. We have to make sure that we have an open space so that more investors can come. Our cross-border will need to go to cross and come and go and come. And then moreover, the good thing about it is that the president just and he and the president of Sierra Leone just joined correct for the road. So that's going to help us a lot because all kind of things on the road. Job creation will take place. Our SMEs will need in cross-border, or in fact, traders, investors as a whole will have access. So we try to remove that.
Okay, you're listening to the Super Morning Show coming to you live from the radio service of the Liberia Broadcasting System. My name is Emmanuel Tato Monkoli. We have the Minister of Commerce here as our guests on the show. Just give us a general outlook of the business climate. How does it look like? Does it feel like Liberian businesses? Where are we?
Well, let me come back again to the Investment Act. We believe that Liberians should take charge of the economy.
You believe, but it is not happening.
That's what I'm coming to you to say. That's what I'm trying to say. That should be happening. But the reason why it's not happening is because they don't have the capacity. That's the big word they don't want to use. They don't have the capacity, and they don't have the trust in giving them what it's supposed to be.
Do you have Liberians active participating in the economy?
Very much.
Are they active?
They're very active. In fact,
Does the
they
climate
invest.
favor them?
The investors also flag them. They flag about 5 of them that they trust, that they have worked with, and they believe in them. They can even go to bed and give them millions of dollars. They don't care because they're going to get it back in return. They are here. So we are saying to them, then get out of the distribution. Say you believe in them, you know them, you trust them. We also know they are Liberians. Then what we want you to do as an investor is to open your industry, the distribution aspect, give it to them. You trust them. You just told us you trust them. Give it to them. They will look down there, and then the smaller ones, those smaller ones will come, and then at the end of the day, we have our middle class. But if you trust these people, you came from somewhere to trust them. It wasn't something abrupt, right? You met them. You had a transaction with them back and forth. And you saw the commitment, the sincerity, loyalty, and trust. That's why you are so much talking about that. And to be fair with you, every one of them we spoke to talking about those five people. So meaning that they all are aware of these 5, they believe in these 5, they trust them. So we say good. But if you trust them, then leave the distribution aspect with them. Take all and give it to them. Let them go down there now to look for the other Liberians, train them as the way they are also trained to be able to bloom our economy.
Let's talk about access to loan, especially for SMEs. Do Liberian businesses have access to financing to accelerate their own operations?
Liberian access to finance was an issue.
This is a
But
issue.
it's not as the way it was before. Because right now we are laying more emphasis on access to market. The reason why we are laying access to market And access to finance is also something that is very, very cardinal that we want to talk about.
Every business person if you ask, they talk about they don't have access to loans and financing. In fact, Liberian banks prefer foreigner or Liberian themselves.
You see, business is trust. Business is not just because you want to do business.
Is it that they don't trust Liberian businesses or
But that's
business owners?
That's what I'm trying to explain to you right now. Most of the businesses, you ask them, they tell you, they give loan, they relocate. Trust. They relocate.
Is that a general impression you get?
Not really, but almost 50-60%. So we are saying, if you want a collateral, let's assume the bank. The business woman went to the bank to get a loan. From what they tell us, or club or whatever they go to, they tell them, bring a collateral, maybe the deed or something. They bring it, and they're asking you for 50,000 US dollars. The young man who takes the paperwork from that old lady, I'm going to use the least person in the market. You tell her she asks you for $25, or you tell her you have to bring $2 so I can process your paper. She brings it. You send her to the next person. She goes there. The next man says, "Okay, I see it, but you have to bring $3. But $5 gone already." She goes, and the thing goes on. At the end of the day, she realized she had $15. What can the $15 do towards the business? So she tries to do what she wants to do, but just can't. So sometimes I'm not supporting the act. I'm not supporting it. But sometimes she feels that if I can't get these people money, then I might as well travel, which is a very bad thing. Relocate and go. But there are others. So even if you had an encounter with somebody who did that, it doesn't mean everybody's going to do it. But the overall thing here is that it happened once or twice, and they believe that's what's going to happen. But there are still people who are trustworthy in this country. There are still people who believe in business, and they believe that they can do more than what they think.
But do Liberian businesses have access to it? Is it favorable for them?
Yes, they do have access to loan, depending on where you want to go. But we have a project at the Ministry of Commerce, the LIFT project, that has to do with financing entrepreneurs. So that business that is under the central bank, but they identify a financial institution that gave them this money to be able to do what it's supposed to do. So they do have access to finance. But where I have the problem is having access to market. For an example, I have access to finance. I want to use credit from you, and I want to do plenty chips. You gave me the money, I did the plenty chips. Well, how well is it? How well is the standard that I can place in a supermarket, and the man in the supermarket will accept it? How well is it? So we want to see business people getting this loan, which is the access to finance, but we want not just locally, globally. How do we get them out of the country? You sit here, you see peanuts from Ghana, it's sealed up properly. So the standard lab is there to make sure now, standard authority, to make sure that it's up to standard. So that when you seal it up and put it in the supermarket, somebody will get eager and urged to buy it.
Okay. I know we'll interact with the caller, but just before we interact with the public, I want to know, Madam Minister, what would be your biggest success if you were to leave the Ministry of Commerce? What could be that measurable success you could make?
Is to put the system in place, and that is to make sure that access to finance, SMEs are into the place it's supposed to be, make sure that prices are controlled, consumers are protected, and all of that.
Is that going to be a priority? Are you already working on it?
It's a priority already. That's the mandate that has been given to us to make sure that we stabilize prices, to make sure consumers are protected, and all of that. So that is a strong strength of our mandate. That's what is going on right now.
And how soon do Liberians expect to see, actual works in terms of price stabilization?
It's already ongoing. It's ongoing. The prices have not been inflicted as the way you are emphasizing it. No, that is not what is happening. Prices are under control. The reason why I'm saying to you prices are under control because they are being tagged. The prices are being tagged. So the commodities salary has been tagged. Because if it wasn't tagged, you could call any loose price to us. But it has been tagged. And as I said to you earlier, the microphone is there. You got a microphone there. There's nothing on it. So if I came into your store, I would have to find who's the store owner. How much is the microphone? Or if I went to this store and saw the microphone 180, I don't have to ask you. I know it is 180. And if I don't have the 180, it tells me I don't go and fill up with the 180 or do what I'm supposed to do. As compared to you telling me everything I want that is on your shelf, I have to ask you. And that's one of the things we try to do to lay emphasis. And it's working. You could do a check today. Go down to any school, you'll find that. That is so, I mean, it's rapid. That is really happening.
You normally see this thing maybe in supermarkets and big stores, but maybe Jalo shop in the community. You know,
No, those are the people who are really following the rules. Going to a Jalo shop, you see it there. The Jalo shops, they are following the rules.
price tag.
Price tag, they are there. I mean, they might not quote it as it's supposed to be, but what they do, they get a marker and put 100 and put a blue behind it. That's what it is.
What does it really seek to address? Is it about protection of consumers?
Yes, it is. That's the aspect of the protection. We are not the Ministry of Justice when we speak about protection. Those are the protection we are talking about. To make sure that prices are under control. Make sure that commodities are being good for consumption and all of that. Yeah.
Okay. You're listening to the Super Bunny Show. My name is Emmanuel Tatomo. Kali, it's great having the minister. I mean, we talk a lot about the business and this investment code 2010 that talks about exclusive businesses for Liberian citizens. So it's now time to enter I2 view. The lines are already being, but let me announce the number 0805140960775 67737 says here on the Super Morning Show. A very good morning to you. Thanks for joining. Let's go ahead and make your input, sir.
Yeah, good
Good morning.
morning.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
let me appreciate my minister in the studio, especially the government minister. My name is Thomas. You are calling for the presentation number 2.
Okay.
Yeah, really, she's doing well on any of the prices. I want to keep trying to go up where people are trying to go by the well. But for me, what I have to do really for us to put people in the street. The various store, the retail. So not to be careful on retail. At least if you go to buy wholesale, you bring your order, you people that bring your order, and they want to do the retail. But still to be selling academic or single to sell the retail, I think they will not, they will not be doing retail order.
Okay. You want the inspector team to be all anything. Thank you for your point. Good morning. Thanks for joining. Good morning. You're live. Let's hear you.
I listened to the minister very well, and I was really appreciate the minister for all of the talking points and responses to those questions that were asked. But my concern is this: on recent, the minister and her team, they have been very robust, especially when it comes to this issue of inspecting expired goods on the market, prices, and all of that. But I want to know from the minister as to whether they have a specific timetable to carry out these inspections. That's 1. 2, what is the minister and her team doing to avoid all form of biases, especially when it comes to inspection?
Okay. Thank you so very much for your input. A very good morning. Thanks for joining. Please go ahead.
Good morning, sir.
You're live.
Yeah, my name is Shukumati. I'm calling from DMV.
Yes, sir.
Morning, Madam Minister.
Good morning, Program.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to know what the ministry has done for them to take all the businesses on our major street. All the street, our major street, are some business lining up. For here, there is to business for here, there is to our feet, business for here, there is to business there. What the government are doing to.
Okay. Thank you very much for your input. Very good morning to you. Thanks for joining.
Good morning,
Good morning. You're live.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Let me first of all commend the senior guest, Madam Acosta. Thank God also that she's some of the consumers also. And then she got a long time experience on what can happen to the state. That is about the entire commodities, the things that we are taking in every day. The people make the money, then we carry the sicknesses, the change, the escalation, and think these things, if they are really tested, let the testing process that you talk about, like, at least it will help every one of us. And also, what is he doing about those who are the producers and also they are retailers? What are you people doing about them?
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for your input. Good morning. You live. Let's hear you, please.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, my name is D.F.O. calling from Kenya.
You live.
I just want to ask the Minister of Civil Pension pertaining to the children retail sector. You know that people are just selling the children everywhere in Nigeria and last year. But I don't know why is the mechanism that the ministry is very putting to this to the prices, because every time you go to the circle always say that the city is protected, everybody shouldn't say what, but the truth is not protected. We are doing an investment in the retail business, in the retail sector. We are not protected because when we're going to get the price, when the ministry of government, the FDIC get a standard price, we'll see everybody selling for everybody feels selling. They should talk about stabilizing the price or inspection to go to be grounded. But again, really inspecting the field of people that are dropping the price, that embarrassing people in investment.
Okay.
Why would total for this country the same thing? Total talk about this. The government protected our interest in the other government ministries to protect our investment.
Okay. I understand your point. Yeah, you get many all around lowering the price. Good morning. Thanks for joining. We'll take 2 more calls and get back to the minister. Thanks for joining. Please go ahead.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. Let's hear it.
I'm here with Daniel Gutumo calling from Kenyatta Wednesday. What I'll say here is I don't understand the logic. Bego rest in La Bureau, made in La Bureau Bego rest is sold for $25. While rice are coming from Vietnam, India, sold for $13.50. Well, I don't understand the logic in that. Can the minister address that, please?
Thank you. I think we can take this as our last call. We'll not take all the calls. Good morning. Yeah, let's hear you.
Normally, locally produced food, they are expensive. Okay, especially the difference between the foods that are coming from out of the country, they are not organically produced. Okay, rice produced in Liberia is very organic. Okay.
My man, I think you'll call next time. Yeah, let's hear you, please. You'll be our last caller.
Yeah, good morning, brother. How are you?
Yes, sir.
For the head of the petty traders. I want to commend the minister for his explanation this morning.
Petty trader, you get union, huh?
Hey, Ezekiel, how you doing?
Oh,
Derek,
okay, sorry.
how you doing? My brother Ricky, how you doing? U.S. Minister,
My man,
U.S.
go
Amos Bala.
But Minister, there's a prayer release that just came more recently for your ministry, and which of course we have been working with you. And I think that conversation should be between us and out of even the city corporation. Because we have been working in our chairman of transition the people on the street. And transition, then I think the nation has a whole role to play as the ministry and other time. We want to enjoy your leadership since the king took over as ministers. But again, some of the prayer really should be coordinated. And I think it will help all of us on the street because the livelihoods of seniors are concerned in a much the other lives of the street is important.
Okay.
And we want to work along with you in that direction.
Okay.
The livelihoods of seniors are concerned because of all of us.
Thank you, my man, from the petty trader. I think we can hold the calls there. If you mind the calls will not go home. Madam Minister, you listen to the callers, yes. You can just address them.
I listen to them.
Very
And
short.
let me just begin by the last color. Street sellers, petty traders are a part of us because they are into trade on the lower scale. Petty traders is unfortunate that this announcement that have been placed out. There are some misinformation regarding them. if you listen to the second announcement, it talks about building materials. You know, from ELW Junction to Broad Street, that is our New York. Yes, many years back, I mean, it was so beautiful. We didn't have stores all along the road. Now you have the steel probably on the road. You got the zinc, the wheelbarrows, the buckets, the water tank. I mean, the ties. You just name it, all on the road. So we have said to them, we had a meeting with them, and we told them beginning last week that we don't want to see it there because it should not be there.
You mean to be outside of the store?
Outside of the store. You must put your goods in your store. If I came to get steel, you must have a warehouse that you can give me a slip to go and pick up it. We don't want to see steel all along the road, beginning from ELW to Broad Street and beginning from ELW to Broward Street. If you take a tour now, you realize that Broward Street is clear.
Are they complying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying to you. Yeah, I mean, Broward Street is clear. Coming from ELW Junction, going towards the Broward Street, both left and right. And Saturday morning, I did a tour and I saw it. So we said to them, building materials, we know you are here, but we want you to understand and take this seriously. We don't want to see building materials on the main road. In fact, at that meeting, they suggested that immediately before the weekend, which was last Saturday, they will begin, and it started already. For petty traders and street vendors, this is something that we will all have to discuss. But our emphasis was on building materials right now. Building materials and to get it out. The street vendors, petty traders, there is a meeting coming up with the city corporations. The city corporation believe that that's the rule. But this government has one action, one agenda, and we must move together. And to do that, we will not take action without the consent of the next sector. So, Mr. Petty Trader President, did you say you're the president?
Yes.
Yes. So, Mr. President, we will work on that. We are supposed to have a joint meeting regarding that. So basically right now, is the building materials that we have said to them we don't want to see on the road. Even when you're driving and you try to reverse, you can't because the steel
What sort of danger does it pose to pedestrians?
Well, pedestrians used to have access to the sidewalk. Right now they don't. And you don't expect the pedestrian to walk on the road. So, and they are aware, these rules are there, they are aware. But the problem has been stubbornness and had not really been forceful because they feel that it is their right. So we have told them, no, this is not. And they have understood that. So we have passed that. We don't want to see building materials on the road. We don't want to see the ties. And I'm going to name it again because the ties, the steel rods, the bucket, the zinc, all of those stuff, you must have a warehouse. So give me a slip if I want some to go. Whether it's on the Downstate Freeway, wherever it is, but we're not going to allow that. That is clear, Mr. President. Mr. Dennis, who talking about the rice, the imported rice, and the country rice. The country rice is organic. Everybody want to eat organic rice. The process in which the other rice is being processed, we don't know. Sometimes we get sugar, diabetes. Sometimes we get a lot of sickness and things come from there. So we don't know how it's being processed.
But do you eat country rice?
Yes, I do eat country rice, but I don't because it gives me gas. I don't eat it much. But I like it, especially the rare looking one.
Okay.
One I like it. So the country rice is there. Now this woman has a little farm. She put so much in there. She doesn't have the equipment to be able to go through the process. Everything she does is manual. Everything is manual. So even the Ministry of Agriculture, I understand, have given them some machines to be able to get the spoons under the rice and all of that. So the process is so long for them. So that one we talked about it before. We'll look into that again. Mr. Thomas, who talk about the retail and wholesale. We just talked about it just as our introduction. Talk about that the businessman, the investor should not be doing retail, doing distribution, and all of that. We talk about that, and that is being implemented already. The young man from District 4 talking about, is there a time we should inform people before we
go on inspection?
The law, our own law says you can do inspection announced and unannounced. We don't have to tell you. We can bounce into your store anytime and do inspection. Because that's what our law says. That you can inspect, announce, and unannounced. So that I just wanted you to know that. I talk about the street, about the whole street I'm taking to be market. We just talked about that. We want to try to work with the development authority along with other so that agencies and corporations so that we'll be able to work on that. The young man from the AP Tower Rule, he talked about the producer, the same thing. You get the producer at the same time you doing retail. We talk about that.
Okay.
And then lastly, this young man talked about this stabilizing of prices. Prices, the reason why we got tied into the different stores is because we want to be able to have control. And to control that, you must label whatever commodity we have on the shelf. So that's where we are right now.
Okay. Thank you. Madam Minister, I know you've been having some engagement with on this in Bassa. What is happening in Bassa on the overall?
Well, I don't know what's the interpretation we talk about. We ask.
You have a foundation. The last time we had your people here talking about your walls of the foundation.
Oh my
And
God.
many times people having these kind of things. That's something I'm really
Well, this foundation is not a new foundation.
Okay.
That was possible because this foundation is not a new foundation. The only thing about this foundation, the name has been changed. Because it used to be the Liberia Community Development Foundation, for which my husband and I and went into charity. Many students. If they belong to open again, we'll let you know the number of scholarships and all of that. So after our husband died, we thought that let's continue the charity. So we said the Magdalene Foundation. And we're into the same thing. Charity. Helping having skilled.
So it doesn't have any political honor to it.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. And right now it's not time for politics, so we shouldn't be talking about that right now. But the foundation is strictly on a charity for which we cater to the needy, people with disability, the women, the youth, the elderly, and all of that. So basically that's what we are for into the process.
Okay, thank you so much for coming and thanks for taking your time. Hope we can have more of these this kind of conversation so we can get to know more about the workings at the ministry.
Thank you, and we look forward to working with you at any time. Call us or let us know ahead of time so that we can be present on time.
Okay.
Thank you.
Of course, the voice of Liberia's Commerce and Industry Minister Magdalene Dago has been my guest today on the Super Morning Show. We're taking a break. We'll come back with all in our next guest. Thank you so much to all of you for tuning in. My name is Emmanuel. Please, you can stay. Let's take this. Be back.
So guys, the commerce minister, have been there, updating the public on series of issues, steps that they are taking on the economy. Also, policies that they have instituted, and from the government side, policies that they have instituted, and all of those. Okay, so it was great being here. This morning we've had two podcasts. One was from me, and the other one is from there was a relay there on the ELBC, and another platform we were earlier relaying. But because we do not want to come in contact with copyright issues, so we have to flip that relay over to ELBC. Let's meet this evening. Hey, Sam Davidson, how you doing? Welcome to the podcast. Ezekiel, Derek, my brother Ricky there, and other people, I think, all the way up there. So this live stream was merely meant to relay the Commerce Minister appearance at the ELBC. Thanks for watching, guys. I will catch you guys. Bye-bye from my end.